Hey guys, it is Jenny, Coach Brightside, and today's video for the time management series is all about planning out your time. I have my top 3 tips for you and a bonus tip as well. So let's dive right in to my very first tip, and that is your method of planning, whether it's an actual planner or a calendar, whatever it is, you want it to be functional. Don't go for fancy, go for function. You may have to try a couple different things before you find that sweet spot. McCall wants to say hi. Before you find that perfect, hello. Before you find that perfect method, I know that I've gone through several different things. There was a phase where I wanted that fancy schmancy life planner that everybody uses and buys stickers from Etsy, but it just wasn't functional for me and what I needed it for. So I opted out of that. Right now, I use a passion planner, which you can order from their website. It's great if you are someone who needs help with goals and setting goals and looking ahead for the future. No, you can't have my notes. Those are my notes, so I don't forget what I'm going to say. And I've also used the planner in the Target dollar spot, bullseyes, playground, whatever they call it now. I still call it dollar spot. They have tons of really cool things in there for you to DIY a planner. That's a great way if you're someone that wants to have more control and flexibility of what your planner looks like and what it can do for you. Also, another favorite tool of mine is Google Calendars, because all of my work is social media based and I do everything on my computer, but I also have it synced to my phone. So I have things color coded. So things for my family are one color, things for my business are one color, things for Team Brightside are another color. There's all sorts of different things. And he is going to go get in that chair while I'm not paying attention. Well, I got my... Oh, he's taking perfect opportunity. Boy, don't you get in that chair. Makoa, come here. So usually I make these videos while he's napping so that I can just bust out these tips for you guys. But today, my time did not work that way. What are you doing? Okay, I better talk fast, you guys. Okay, and again, go for function, not fancy. I know that it's really tempting to get something that somebody else uses because hers is really cute and it looks really cool, but it may not even work for what you need. So have it somewhere that you can see it, that you can use it, and that's going to work for you, and be open to the fact that it may not work on the first try. If you're someone that needs lots of notes, one of those little tiny 2-year planners that has little bitty blocks, that's not going to work for you. My passion planner is one of those big, I think it's like an 8.5 by 11, whatever a paper size is, and I use it to write notes in. It's my to-do list, but it's also my calendar. So tip number 2 is the Pomodoro Technique. This one's a really cool technique, and I'm just going to go over the gist for you. You can Google up the whole purpose of it and the actual method to use it, but basically it was created by an Italian man, and a Pomodoro is a tomato, and his whole thinking was to work in tomatoes or time blocks, because this method he used his kitchen timer. So what you would do is set a timer for 25 minutes, do your time block of your to-do list, whatever it is, get through your tasks within the 20 minutes, and when the timer moves, when the timer is up, you move on to the next thing. So you're working in pockets. So that's a really good way to do it if you're pressed for time. I know for me, oh, that was close. We almost had a goldfish waterfall. I know for me, I used to always think, oh my goodness, I have to be somewhere in an hour. I don't have time to do anything. Well, if I would have had a time pocket mentality, it would have been a lot easier and a lot less stressful, because I could have knocked a lot of stuff out in a little bit of time and still done something versus just not doing it at all and leaving it for another time. So Pomodoro Technique, Google that if you want the actual method in steps to do it. I'll also put it in the blog post how to do it, but that's basically the gist. It's like a time pocket setup. My third tip is I want you to be flexible, okay? You need to allow for human error in whatever it is you're planning. I said in another tip video that the other day we were going out to dinner with family for a birthday, and we left like at the last possible minute because it was tough getting out the door. And as soon as we did that, the baby had a dirty diaper, so we had to put everything down, change him, and it made us completely late. Oh, good, he's gonna dust him up. Cool. So allow for that. If you know that things typically come up with you when you're trying to get out the door, reverse engineer it. Say you have to leave the house at 3:30 to get to somewhere on time. If it takes you 20 minutes to get ready, give yourself 10 additional minutes. That way there's a little cushion there. And you can allow for human error or anything to pop up that you were not expecting. And also with this flexibility tip, if other people are involved, be respectful of their time. I hate having to give people fake times for things because I know that they're always late. That's something that has always been a pet peeve of mine, but it's just the way it is with certain people. So if other people are involved, be respectful of their time. Be respectful of your own time, and stick to the time limits. If you got to be somewhere at 4 o'clock, get there a few minutes early. Don't be late, because that doesn't say anything good about you. And I do have one bonus tip, and that is to make sure to communicate with your husband. I have all of my calendars within Google. I share it with my husband's email. And it's not because he has to know everything I'm doing in every moment, but it makes it easier on me if I forget to share something with him. Like, for instance, tonight I have one of my team calls. Once a month, my entire team meets on a Zoom. We do a video conference, and I have him shared with my calendar for that, so that he knows when I'm not going to be available and when I need 2 extra hands on deck to watch the kids and keep them occupied for me. So communicate with everybody. If you're doing like a wall calendar, put it somewhere where people can just pop in and check your availability and see if you are free, or if somebody else wants to make family plans. Maybe your husband wants to surprise you with the dinner or something. Well, he's going to need to know your availability. So make sure you communicate with him well. So these are some of my tips for planning out your time, you guys. I hope that they were super helpful, because this is what gets me through. I will be putting more details on these things in the blog post, as well as the full technique on how to do the Pomodoro technique, which is a really cool concept. I really like that one. Oh, he's got his little city. So I thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of these time management tips, please feel free to ask. I am an open book. Oh, London, you just so funny. That's why you the queen. Yes. And there's my little emoji. It's so funny. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let me know if you start implementing any of these tips into your day-to-day life, because I would love to hear how they are making changes for you. So again, thank you so much for watching. You guys are amazing. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. Hey, Makoa, can you say bye? Say bye-bye. Can you say bye-bye? Oh, no. Can you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Bye, guys.